Hey, yo, peace, peace. This your man, L. Judge, man, coming right back at you with some of that real talk real fast, man. Hey, man, I'm going to just be honest with you, man. Right now, we're in harvest season. It's at the end of the season, so now it's time to harvest. Just like us, we do here on this physical plane here. When at the end of our season, we harvest our vegetation. That's what's going on, because right now we're heading into the golden age. And as we're heading to the golden age, they know that many people are going to become enlightened and they're going to become upright individuals again. And now those who feed off of those on their plane of existence, the lower plane of existence, and they feed off of your spirit, they're trying to bring you down or bring you over to their spirit so they can continue to feed off of you. Because see, many people think that you're trying to save your soul. No, you cannot save your soul, because your soul does not belong to you. They cannot harvest your soul. But they can harvest your spirit, because your spirit is who you truly are. This vehicle, the body is just the vehicle that carries your spirit. Your spirit is the driver. You have the free will, like a steering wheel. You have the will to drive your spirit any way you choose to. This is why, man, if this is why they've created this cesspool that we live in, because the more people that they corrupt and the more people that they get addicted to the ill things in life, the more spirits they get to feed off of. So this whole thing about people, they're mad about Kamala Harris. They're mad about Donald Trump. They're mad about the immigrants. They're mad about Ukraine money. You know what I'm saying? So they have all these ill feelings and stuff, depression, anxiety, and all. This is what you're doing. You're feeding the demon gods of depression and anxiety and of anger. You know what I'm saying? And they're placing you in this situation, and they're placing you and I in these situations so it will affect our spirit, and they can feed off of us. Now, they feed off of us when we're up here, but they also feed off of us when they snatch us and take us to their plane of existence. Now, you've seen shadow people before, right? See, you have the shadow people, then you have the dark shadow people. You have the shadow people who are lost, but then you have the dark servant shadow peoples, and they are the ones who will snatch your spirit when you leave this physical, and they take your spirit to the gods of destruction, to the gods of depression. They take your spirit, and so they can continue to feed off of you, and then they will continue to torture you, so they can feed off of you even more, until you start to forgive yourself for the things that you have done onto yourself and onto others. They're going to continue to feed on you. You're going to stay there until you hit the point of zero, and you just be like, okay, it is what it is. I forgive myself. I understand what I've done. Boom, it's over with. Then you move on to the next level, I hope. Right. But see, man, this is the thing, man. See, it used to be a time when people were good church-going people. Not all people, because you had some people who used to go to church back in the days, and they went to church so they can pay money to get a ticket to get on that bus, so they can travel 2 towns over on the bus to watch a hanging or a lynching. All right. So all people, man, aren't good people. You have some people who are just evil people, and they are servants of those beings who exist on the plane of ignorance, destruction, anger, violence. They exist on that plane, and they're in the physical. But when the time comes, they go back to that plane and they get fed off of. They're being fed off of now, but when they get snatched, they're going to be fed off those entities are going to feed off of them even more. This is why they're having a lot of these mass unalivings with these doggone so-called natural events, with these hurricanes and forest fires and mass brrr, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, they're trying to get their numbers up. They're trying to collect as many spirits as possible. You know what I'm saying? Because like I said, it's harvest season. The golden age is coming in, and now they got to get ready to just lay back for a minute. But like I was trying to say, there used to be a time when people went to church, and then when you went to church, you hung around other people who carried themselves in a moral manner, and they would police each other. You know what I'm saying? So you came together, and then you formed a body of morality. You're supposed to. You know what I'm saying? And people would be like, they would be like, well, little girl, where you think you going with them clothes on? You ain't going outside looking like that. And then if the parent wasn't home, the neighbor would be like, what do you think you're doing? Your mother know what you got on? You better get back in that house. We policed one another and made sure that we were upright people. They'd be like, look, they'd tell the boys, boy, you're not even allowed to stand on my sidewalk. Get out of here. Because they could look at you, and they often knew your path. So you're not bringing that corruption around my house. You're not corrupting anything in here. But now we turn our back on the church because they made the church, and they turned the church into bitter vinegar. Like the last thing I was saying, they turned the church into bitter vinegar, and now nobody wants to drink from the church anymore. They say the whole thing is useless because I've taken a sip of that vinegar and I don't like it. They purposely corrupt the church because, man, here, let me say this. It used to be a time, like in the 60s, in the late 50s and the 60s, and other people were, the reporters, they were going around to other parts of the world, and they would ask the people, what do you think about the morality of America? And you know what they would say? They said that the American black folks are the ones who we see to be moral. They said that we see those other people who are trying to stop them from being good people and just being part of the system because they saw them sicking dogs and water hoses and stuff on people. So it lets you know that worked. We were on the right path of being righteous people. You know what I'm saying? We know, I mean, some of the things weren't cool, the manipulation of the money and stuff like that, and the manipulation of the mind to manipulate your vote. Because see, when you're dealing with the corrupt system, they're trying to manipulate your will. You surrender. A lot of people got to the church and surrendered their free will over. And they may have voted for someone during the election time that they probably really wasn't feeling. But anyway, when you have somebody who's evil within your home, you throw the person out your house. You don't burn your house down. And that's what we did. And not only did we have the church to help keep us in order, we had the so-called Masonic orders, the Shriners, and other orders and the Eastern Stars to keep us in line as well. And see, what did they do? They corrupt this. They corrupt that. They make you believe that. Here, this is the crazy thing about that. They took your order and corrupted it and and demonized it and had you turn their back on it. And then now they're using their order or using your order to work in secrecy to manipulate and to destroy you and I. See, this is why in the 1800s, in the late 1800s, early 1900s, or the late 1800s, they had this thing called the anti-Masonic Party. Yes, the anti-Mason Party. What they were doing was they were going around demonizing the Masons and giving the Masons a bad name, so the people in their communities would no longer exist within order. They would not have their own order. And if you don't have your own order, it'll put you in a position where others can order you what to do. You see, the Masonic order, like I said, if you got crooked people in your house, you don't burn down the house. You kick the crooked people out. The Masonic order, they used to be like, well, you will have 1 or 2 on this side of town, 1 or 2 on that side of town. So now, if the youth are having a problem with the kids on that other side of town, the people within this order on this side of town, they would go and have a meeting with the brothers and sisters over there at that order. And they would get things in line. They would get down to the nitty gritty, see what the problem is. But not only that, we would pick our own elected officials, and we would back them up with money, and then we would place them in government to do what we need done in our neighborhood and in our state and in our towns. But they took that away from you. Stop listening to these people. They're telling you things that they don't know anything about. Let me tell you something. Do you know that there are 2 branches of the Illuminati? You know that? You have one branch of the Illuminati who was of the Dark Brotherhood, right here. And their job is to keep you in the darkness and to manipulate your will and to help others manipulate your will so they can control your spirit and they can turn you on to a different plane of existence or trade you in so your spirit can be used for food for other beings. This is why they have entertainers. This is why they have sports. This is why they have all these people to help keep you distracted. They're working for the dark beings. But then you have another branch of the Illuminati who was of the White Brotherhood. And their job is to unify humanity and to bring forth enlightenment and to talk and to speak unto you about being self-sufficient, taking care of yourself, and to be responsible with the advancement of technology and always work on advancing them to the people. There's another branch of the Illuminati, the White Brotherhood. Have you ever met anyone like that? Are you sure? Someone who put their name on the dotted line to bring you light? Anyway, this is your man, L. Judge. I'm out.